iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Welcome in here, ladies and gentlemen, to the Concord Speedway here tonight for the Big Ten Super Series presented by RS Button Boxes. We're here at this tricky little triangle that is a bull ring. Well, the track may no longer stand in the real world side of things, and the Big Ten Super Series on the real side may be long gone. But here on the iRacing.com platform, we can relive the great days of the Big Ten Super Series right here at the Concord Speedway, along with the Big Ten Super Series. My name is Roger Muth. I'll be your host here this season with the Big Ten Super Series, and alongside me, my co-host from the upstate New York area, Al Smith. Great to be here as the sun is shining.
Absolutely love Concord and its unique shape and unique challenges that will be here tonight, qualifying underway for tonight's season opener for the Big Ten Super Series right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Roger, thank you for dragging me down here to the beautiful Concord Speedway. Like you said earlier, it does not exist anymore in real world. They kind of leveled it, which we all lower our hats for that. But we are here tonight virtually, and this race is going to put on a very, very good race here tonight. 3 distinct corners, and you got to get through them all to become holding that trophy at the end of the night.
Some drivers who have held trophies here at the Concord Speedway are Jack Sprague. Everybody knows him from running in the Craftsman Truck Series. Larry Raines also has won a championship here. Rich Bickle, how about a couple of those drivers? Mike Thomas, Eddie Messengill also have picked up championships here. 2005 was the last year that the Big Ten Super Series ran here at the Concord Speedway. Now here in 2021, we can officially go back virtually thanks to the fine folks over at iRacing.com. iRacing, of course, is your #1 simulated racing game all across the market. It's on your PC, of course, Al, so our PCs are tuned up and ready to go. We saw some great racing action, though, with the Big Ten Super Series when we traveled the iRacing.com platform last season, and last season's champion is not here tonight.
No, Ryan Kuhn dominated one season ago. Won every race that 72 car entered. Tonight, not in tonight's field, so it'll be a new driver in victory lane, and there is a slew of drivers to pick from coming up here this evening.
So qualifying right now underway, but while we have a second here, we got to thank some of our sponsors that help us make all of this possible. We got to thank RS Button Boxes for coming back on board with the Big Ten Super Series as our title sponsor. We thank the RS Button Boxes. Of course, race fans, if you are in the market for a quality custom button box that will not break the bank, RS Button Boxes is the place to be. You can find them on Facebook.com at RS Button Boxes. And, of course, we got to thank Johnson Chassis for being the premier chassis, the tubular chassis builder here for the Big Ten Super Series. And along with them, Al, you just came from getting your hair done from the Karma Salon and Day Spa. I mean, you're looking great over there. Absolutely stunning. But we also got a new sponsor this season. Austin Edwards of the Edwards Setup Shop is providing all the setups this season here for the Big Ten Super Series right here at the Concord Speedway. So we're going to get to see a lot of these custom setups this season. And the season is not just we run one temperature. We don't run one track state. We don't run one consistent lap count. Tonight is one of the longest races of the season this year, and then we're going to shorten them up through the middle of the season and throw a little bit of dynamic weather at these drivers. So it's going to be interesting. You might not be good here tonight, Al, but you might be good next week.
Yeah, it's going to be a difference of the different in weeks, just like it is in the real life, where you got to chase the track conditions. In the Big Ten Super Series, you're going to test these drivers week in and week out in order to take and find out who is the best driver in this series here tonight. And, well, Roger, it is going to be interesting to see over that week. Like in tonight's race, 125 laps in distance. That is not the distance every week for these drivers. We're going to have some weeks where it's a little bit shorter, some weeks where it's a little bit longer. It's all going to be a difference throughout the night. And like you said, weather is going to come into play. These drivers are going to be kept on their toes all season long.
And it's not just the weather, it's not just the sun, the cars, the track, the setup. You also got to think about things like this. Of course, tonight's race, the season opener here for the Big Ten Super Series, it is a double points paying race. We have this as a double points paying race, and we have the season finale as a points paying race. So 2 double points races. That could make things pretty interesting too, because if you don't have a good night tonight, you don't have a good night on the season finale, which is another one of those long races, 150 laps at the season end. It could be really rough to make up points through the middle stages of this season. 75 laps next week, then it's 60 laps, so we go 80 laps and 150 to wrap up the season. So it is going to be a great season, I feel, Al. And these drivers right now in their little bit of a warm-up session. 13 drivers are going to make the feature event. If I took my shoes off there and counted this correctly, the sun is going to be beating down here all day long.
It's going to be in a very hot weather here tonight, as we know that, well, I had to wear sunglasses standing outside next to you, Roger.
Yeah.
So there's definitely going to be a very hot one right now. The track temperature, 112 degrees. And what does that mean? Well, that means these cars will be slipping and sliding here. Just 1 week after the new tire model came out, cars are a little bit more gripped up. It's going to provide a lot more side-by-side racing, we are thinking, as we get ready to go with tonight's main event.
Yeah, Al, you actually talked to me previous. You talked to me on Build Day back on Wednesday. I guess a couple guys got together. They went out and did some testing in the super late model, which you're very familiar with. You're a short track driver yourself here on the iRacing.com platform. Talk us through this new tire that is here tonight on these super late models.
Yeah, they beefed up the sidewall, or the previous build. The car would kind of get all cattywampus down the straightaway. And you'd just be swatting bees sometimes for no reason. The car would be just a little bit unstable. From the reports that I've gotten, I have unfortunately unable to get behind the wheel of this car yet. They have beefed up the sidewall, which allows more of the tire to hit the track. A little bit more grip on the track with the tire, so the car a little bit more stable. They got it more into the racetrack, which I think will provide a little bit more better racing, as we're going to see here tonight. But Can't wait to get behind the wheel of the super late model here. It's just been a little bit busy outside of the sim realm. And well, things starting to slow down as well. We get closer to that fall time.
Yeah, we hope all you race fans are enjoying your summertime here. We know a lot of things all around the world have reopened, a lot of racetracks. Al, you have, and myself, we have both gone to a lot of races so far this season, and we continue to look into the fall to go to races. But it is time for us to get ready and geared up for the winter side of things here on the iRacing.com platform. Of course, the Turn 3 Racing Network, bringing you racing action right here from the Concord Speedway all the way to the high banks of the Daytona International Speedway. Make sure to go ahead and like and subscribe and hit that little bell so you get the notification anytime we do go live right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Tonight, the Concord Speedway will play host to the season opener. For the next 5 weeks, actually, we will be right here on Sunday nights to bring you all the live racing action for the Big Ten Super Series. Because, Al, I hope you're ready, because this is about to be a good one, because these drivers are all already down onto what would be the starting grid here tonight as we are ready to go. 125 laps of racing.
125 laps of racing, and this is what your starting lineup will look like. Top 7 cars were inverted. So based on that, Roger, it looks like Luke Baldwin and that number 7 going to be on the front row of our first night of racing down here for 125 laps. Outside of him will be the number 5 of Tom Scully. Jared Jackson will start 3rd, and outside of him, the number 110, the RS Center out of Georgia, will start 4th. 5th starting spot will go to the Jeremy Little, and the number 55, Devin Landry, will start 6th.
Mark Keatman is back here in action with Keatman Performance number 52. He will roll off in the 7th position. Driving car number 50, making his Big Ten Super Series debut. It's going to be the driver of the number 15, Kyle Ordinet. Starting back into the 9th position, he drives car number 41 from the Northeast. It's going to be Mario Ercolani. Josh Cole will roll car number 24 off from the 10th position, while Rusty Modesty, driving car number 6, will go 11th. 12th will go to Rusty Rothery in car number 1, and it looks like the Bob's Pet and Pond entry will go dead last on the grid. Shotgun to the field here tonight, driving car number 31. It'll be Brad Carpenter. That's your starting lineup, brought to us by Johnson's Chassis. So, all the chassis are dialed in here tonight. Al, we are geared up. We're ready to go. We've said it numerous times here. That's 7NY. He gets the nod this season, as he is the first ever pole setter here for the Big Ten Super Series Virtual of the Invert. So, put 125 laps on the board. Let's see if Luke Baldwin will have the 7NY up there when we are done at the end of 125 laps here tonight. Race fans, thanks for joining us here as the iRacing.com pace car this time by will make its left-hand turn, and we will get ready. The super late models for the Big Ten Super Series return to the Concord Speedway. 125 laps for the season opener, and we are ready this time at turn number 4 to light the fire. The green flag is up. 125 laps the distance.
Down to the turn number 1, Baldwin's going to get the lead, but here comes Scully on the outside, and Baldwin going to go around Luke Baldwin in that 7 automobile around in turn number 1. And there's a couple other cars involved down there. The 31 of Brad Carpenter and the number 1 of Harold Rothery. So Rothery also going around early contact. They can't tell if there was contact off of turn number 1, Roger, if the 7NY just kind of lost the grip on those cold tires.
Yeah, we'll have to wait for our truck to tell us what happened there to Luke Baldwin. We did see it live, but maybe they have a couple different looks out of here tonight at the Concord Speedway. Of course, they have their handy-dandy high-definition cameras wrapped all around here. It does look like Luke Baldwin will go back to the front of the field, possibly. That's just been picked up by the pace truck in the wrong spot. This is the exact restart here. Let's watch it. Let's see if they have what we need to see to tell what happened. You see Baldwin down on the apron there. You see the 5, and that's what it was. The 5 of Luke Baldwin went down to the inside there, caught a little piece of that apron, and then he unfortunately went around in his number 7NY, and there's the Bob's Pet and Pond number 31, the Brian Clausen. It looks like the RPM Motorsports number 1 also of Harold is involved in here. Let's ride on board. Let's see if we can get a good shot here. Riding on board with the RS Button Boxes driver door camera here tonight. You see, Luke, when he went back to the gas aisle, he just looped it right around.
Yeah, was wondering how these tires were going to handle underneath the cold temperatures. Not quite up to temperature. It takes a little bit to get the heat in these Hoosier Racing tires to get that grip level up there. And, well, it's easy to do, and that will relevate the number 7 to the back of the field of Baldwin, that 7NY automobile. And Jeremy Carpenter, they should get the wave around here around the pace truck, is unfortunately Rothery and the 24 of Josh Cole down on pit road. Cole took a hard hit into the outside of the turn 1 wall there. Just on that restart, or on that starter, checked up and hard contact to the outside there. So just like that, underneath our first yellow flag of the season here for the spinning of Baldwin. Roger, easy to do?
Oh, yeah, I believe I would have done the same thing, but I wouldn't have even made it out of pit road, probably myself. So the Big Ten Super Series makes its debut here at the Concord Speedway, and we're under the first caution flag of the night. I guess you can really say a little bit of ants in the pants as these drivers were ready to go, as they've been practicing for weeks to get ready. You see the couple cars going around the pace truck there. Luke Baldwin and Brad Carpenter will tag the back of the field here as everybody is geared up and ready to go. As we go racing this time by, once we come back into the restart zone, it'll be Scully and Center on the front row. There you see the Bang Energy, the 110 entry of RS Center. He is back out of the Ryan Coons Motorsports stable. He'll restart to the outside.
Pace truck down the way. Scully going to jump on the gas pedal. Center to the outside. He'll tuck it in line the 26 of Landry. Your top 3 is now Scully up the racetrack, getting that entry in the turn number 2.
He'll be all right down out of turn number 2. Everybody a little bit sideways entering turn 3, though. It'll be Scully leading the first official green flag lap here this season. One driver way up out of the groove. That's the 55, the RS Button Boxes driver. That's the 55 of Jeremy Little, the driver out of South Carolina. He was just up out of the groove and tagged the wall just a little bit, I do believe, but he does get that car back down to the bottom side of the speedway. First battle up inside the top 10, though. I believe that's the Keatman, number 52. He has now worked around car number 15. There you see the 15 of Kyle running back into the 6th position here. They both have picked up a couple virtual of the number 7 of Luke Baldwin going around here tonight, but just like that, already 9 laps completed here at Concord.
9 laps, and watch that number 52 of Keatman. He did set fast time, just edging the number 26 of Landry as we see him go underneath the 12 of Jackson. So now move the 52 of Keatman up to that number 4 position as they work down here to click off another lap. Everybody getting sorted out here around the Concord Speedway. You can see the uniqueness of this racetrack. It takes your full concentration lap after lap to be fast. Is now RS set up the racetrack. That allows Scully to get by side drag race in the turn number 1. Keatman's going to take it center. It's going to go from 2nd back to 4th in a matter of a corner.
Just like that, the blink of an eye, one little slip of concentration, and the driver of that 110 entry of RS Center went from inside the top 3 to now barely hanging on to the top 10, because Double J of Jared Jackson right now is running back there into the 5th position. He has a stout car here tonight. Will he be able to get around the RS Center? Did RS Center heat the tires up? Does he have enough, can he keep his foot out of the right pedal there? And maybe cool those tires down, because there's still a very long way to go here tonight at the Concord Speedway. You don't want to burn the tires up here too soon, too often. And right now, he is being able to hold on. Here comes Odenek. I believe we're saying that right here. We'll get clarification from the officials here in a little while, but Kyle is currently holding on to the fistful of bourbon, number 15, back there in the 6th position. It looked like he had a run there on Double J, but then had to fall back. Rusty Modesty sideways in car number 6. He is hanging on to that. That car, that Supra, it is not handling very well right now as he's into the wall out of turn 3.
Yeah, they're all over the racetrack right now. Track temperature still in triple digits. Is now the number 6 automobile of Modesty was in trouble as he got it dialed back in here right in front of the 55 of Jeremy Little. But a change for your race lead. Tom Scully up the racetrack. That's going to allow Landry to the top. And he the top 2 fastest drivers in time trials. Now 1-2. Landry holds on to your race lead. He's trying to hold back the 52 of Keatman as he enters turn number 1.
That 52's got flames on the hood of that Monte Carlo, and it is right there. He's got the Napa Know-How brakes lit up on that car here tonight, and he is coming, seeing if he can put That 52 out front right now, it is Devin Landry. He's got the Ryan Coons Motorsports setup shop, number 26 at the point here. Scully with one slip in his Ryan Coons Motorsports number 5 has fallen now back to the 3rd position. Still a long time to go as you see that number 5 of Scully down there on the apron a little bit that time down in turn number 3, trying to get that car to rotate. That Toyota is now, looks like last time by, he's a little bit off the pace of the front two. Landry and Keaton, your 2 fastest cars out on the racetrack.
And they've opened up a 1 second gap over the 5 of Scully RS Center in that 4th spot. But a great battle back here inside the top 5. Jared Jackson has it, and O'Daniak in that number 15 wants it as he's been trying to outside the inside, diamond in the corner off, trying to find some grip to get by that number 12 of Jackson. Hasn't quite been able to do it just yet as they all close in on the backside of the 110 of RS Center. About 4 car lengths separating the 12 from the 110 as they work off turn number 4. Everybody else single filing it out as the pressure still up front. There's the 52 of Keatman trying to find a way around the 26 of Landry.
Just hasn't been able to do it yet this time by. We're knock lap number 23 off the board here tonight. So working lap 24 out of the 150. Or 125, 150 for the final race. I'm already jumping way ahead of us here. Still have, it looks like 11 cars out onto the speedway here tonight. Looks like Harold and Cole. Both drivers are off the speedway here, as it does look like, I believe, Josh Cole is out of the event. Unfortunately, it's an early exit here in the first race of the season. Landry, though, still out front here at Concord Speedway as he'll knock another one down off the board. Mario Ercolani, though, car number 41. You see him out here. He is currently sitting there in position number 11. And if we have that back camera somewhere on that car, there it is, the RS Button Box onboard camera. You're going to notice right there's the race leader. He just has the front straightaway of a deficit between him and the race leader of Devin Landry.
Yeah, Ercolani out there sliding around, looked like having a hard time finding the handle on his number 41, the driver from the Northeast, out there trying to get it pointed in the right direction. And like I said, this track, very hard. This is one of my favorite tracks just because it's so technical. It's so easy to overdrive these corners, hurt your tires, heat them up, and it is easy to do that, and that's what makes it fun from the driver's standpoint. But it's also very frustrating here at the Concord Speedway as they work around the racetrack, putting lap 28 into the books, working lap 29 as they work down the backstretch. It is still Landry, Keatman. They are now 2 seconds up on the number 5 of Scully. These 2 drivers really gapping themselves from the rest of the field.
And we talk about it week in and week out. When do you push the car? When do you sit there and ride? I don't think Mark Keatman right now, the driver out of Kannapolis, North Carolina, knows how to settle that 52 down. I'm being told that is a famous paint scheme, Al, that used to run back here in the day at the Concord Speedway. It's looking good. He would like to park it in Victory Lane. But that car, every time he comes out of turn number 2, you see the rear end of that car slide out from underneath him just a little bit. But he's able right now, here on lap number 32, to hold serve with Devin Landry. RS Center is still back here, but he is under pressure because Scully is right there. And actually, RS Center just made the pass there with his Ryan Coons Motorsports Bang number 110 entry. So RS Center now taking over P number 3 here on lap number 32 as they got Jared Jackson right there, and they also have Odanek right there in position number 6. So a couple drivers, 4 drivers right now battling right behind them. Jeremy Little is back there and Luke Baldwin. Remember, he went for a slide out of turn number 1 on lap number 1. The 7NY currently trying to nurse that car around here. Doesn't want to have anything happen as he's already gone for a slide. As somebody's down on the apron there. I believe that was car number 1. It does look like Harold coming back out onto the raceway with a very damaged number 1, the driver out of Ohio.
Yeah, while he was coming out of the pits, number 5 of Scully went for a little bit of a slide as we got a bid for your race lead. That time, Keatman got underneath him and Landry a little bit loose. New race leader, lap 35 for the 52 of Mark Keatman. Set fast time in qualifying here tonight, and is now taking the race lead, getting by Landry 1 lap ago in turns 3 and 4.
So we have a new leader for the second time here in the season opener at the Concord Speedway. That power slide, number 52, the Keatman Performance. A barbecue pit stop. number 52 is your race leader here, and now we're going to see if Keatman, after missing half the season last year, still remembers how to lead these races, and if he can gap that Ford Mustang back there. See, the Chevrolet Al does lead the way here tonight.
He does. Keatman doing a great job. RS Center now trying to close in. He's started to bring the number 12, but Jared Jackson involved in rhythm as well, along with the 15. Up 3 positions here as Kyle Odaniak in that number 15 as he is down in turns 2. There is no turn 4 here. They work into turn number 3. You can see him working at higher entry, but gets a nice run off of turn number 3 down the front stretch. So that number 15 not really hurting those tires as bad. But you gotta wonder if these tires will hold up for the pace that Keatman is holding right now. Last time by is 16.21. The top 2 cars mirroring each other. They are the fastest car on the racetrack. Luke Baldwin also in the same zip code with a 16.23. But Baldwin, remember, he had to slide early on in this race. How much life did that get taken out of those tires? Will he have enough to get up to the front here?
I don't know, but you talk about life in the tires. The Big Ten Super Series, number 55 of Jeremy Little, is sitting down on pit road. He came down pit road, it looks like 2 laps ago, and that 55 is sitting idle, currently down on pit road. I don't know if there's something wrong, if something went kaboom here tonight in the season opener. We'll see if we can clarify from Jeremy Little here and his crew if something has expired on the motor, or if he just had to come down for maybe a nice cool ice cream, because it is hot here tonight at the virtual Concord Speedway. Race leader still Mark Keatman. Devin Landry is right there. RS Center still 3rd. Jared Jackson sitting in the 4th position, and Kyle Odaniak is sitting back there in position number 5. That's your top 5 here as we close in on lap number 50. Just 6 laps away from lap number 50 here tonight in the season opener for the Big Ten Super Series. And while we have a second here before we hit that 50 lap marker here tonight, we got to thank all the race fans that are tuning in here tonight to watch the Big Ten Super Series. We appreciate each and every one of you. And now, because of the nice fans out there, we hit that 2,000 sub marker on our YouTube side.
Yeah, we can't thank everybody out there enough, but now the drive for 3,000, Roger. And so if you are new to the Turn 3 Racing Network, we have everything from these short tracks to the high banks of Daytona. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up. The thumbs up really lets these drivers know that you appreciate what they're doing for you out here on this racetrack here tonight. And this track, like we were talked about earlier on, this track is very, very hard to get around in this track. Very tricky. Is well, I would call it the little sister to the Pocono Raceway.
One driver into the outside wall there. That was the 26 of Devin Landry right that time out of turn number 2. He took barely, well, I say barely, but he did hit the outside wall, and it did crinkle up the right front fender. I don't think that's going to hurt that car aerodynamically, but that car was definitely into the outside wall. He still holds serve. Let's check the speed at the line there for that car, and as he came across, he's actually quicker that time by than your race leader of Mark Keatman. So Keatman still has that number 26 hot to trot there in the 2nd position. He is not going to go away that easy. This time by, 50 laps completed, working lap number 51, closing in on the halfway point. Next battle for positions back here for that 3rd spot, because look at Jackson really driving off into turn number 1. He drove that number 12 about 3 car lengths farther down into turn number 1, I think, than he really wanted to, because, well, that may take a little bit of life off those front tires. That's another thing. These drivers do have a little knob, courtesy of our friends at RS Button Boxes, on these cars here tonight, where they can dial some front brake in if they need to, or dial some rear brake. Al, experience from these cars, long run, worn out tires, you want to dial just a little bit of that rear brake in, right?
You definitely do, because if that'll help the car turn into the race, into the corner, a little bit more rear brake on there. But if you feel like the car may be over-rotating for you, well, that's when you want to dial some more front brake in. So it's all really driver preference. It can help you get in the corner a little bit, but it's also, the more rear brake you have, Roger, the more chance you're going to have of heating up that right rear, making it very angry at you on these long runs here as they work off of turn number 3. Putting a lap number 54 into the books, lap 55 working it. They now Keatman starting to open up that race lead now about 3 car lengths over to the number 26 of Landry.
So still a lot of racing to go here tonight at the season opener for the Big Ten Super Series return to the famous Concord Speedway. And Al, this is one of those tracks that may no longer be operational in the real world side of things. I think it's actually a development. I could be wrong, but I think that might be what sits here on the hollow ground. But thanks to iRacing, we always get to run this track, as it always comes up in these short track series, and it's probably one of the best ones that we have. You talked about it being very tricky. You know, these drivers really have to mind their P's and Q's here tonight. Would you put this on the top of the books of tracks that you wish you would have got to go to?
I definitely would. You always heard where'd I go to school? Heard that these race tracks down, especially in the Carolinas, this is where, everybody gritted their teeth. This is what really made, what you watch on Saturday nights or Sunday. That is where these guys really honed in their skills, and we just got another one, Hickory. Hopefully I will be able to make it to Hickory before, anything happens to that one. I don't see that one going anywhere anytime soon. But we just got word this week, Roger, that the track up in Maine, Beach Ridge, is going to be was sold to a development. So there's another track that'll get lost. Luckily, I've been to that one. But yeah, Concord, one of those tracks that I wish I would have been able to go to, watch the super late models or even a tour mod race. I always heard that the tour modifieds here, like the NASCAR Whelen modifieds, were a great show here at the Concord Speedway. And, well, just never made it down there to see a race, and unfortunately, it no longer exists. So it's sad watching the videos of them start to tear it up, and it's definitely going to be missed by all the racers. That is for sure.
That's why we're glad to have iRacing here in this day of age. As you see, Jared Jackson, he was following RS Center. Center just tapped the wall a little bit ago, but no damage on the bang machine. Nothing has changed currently. It's still Keatman out front, Landry in second. You're watching RS Center and Jared Jackson right here. They have started to pull away from car number 15. Kyle's starting to fade a little bit. His lap time is about a tenth of a second slower right now than Jared Jackson last time by at the line. Jeremy Little is currently sitting down on pit road. They're working frantically. I believe a right A-arm or something broke on car number 55, so we'll see if he can get back out here tonight and turn some laps. Currently 9 cars, 10 cars still out onto the speedway, 9 cars still on the lead lap, because your final driver that's on the lead lap, well, he drives that Toyota, but if he would look in the mirror, the 6 of Rusty Modesty, better hurry up. Better get the ponies underneath that St. Clair Supra, because Mark Keatman is coming in a hurry.
Yeah, Keatman really putting a hurting on this field, starting to open up his gap now, and it's stretched to half a second, and that's the equivalent to about 6 car lengths here at the Concord Speedway, and Keatman holding a pretty wheel there with that 52, and that thing is on fire just like the flames in the front there. You can start to see the brake rotor starting to glow a little bit. They are using a lot of brakes to slow down these high horsepower late models here tonight. Here as they work in the turn number 1, it'll be Modesty up the racetrack and doing the gentleman thing, letting the leaders on by. So that'll put Modesty down 1 lap to your race leaders. He will fall right there behind the 26 of Landry. And as a racer, you do appreciate when you get to you get to someone that isn't quite up to the pace that you're running. Modesty could have really ran him hard right there. He just chose not to. Saw how fast they caught him. He said, well, I'm going to go to school now, follow their line, see if I can learn something, maybe get back on that lead lap.
So right now, that'll put Modesty as the 1 car, 1 lap down. He would be in the lucky dog position, because where's the next car? It's the Bob's Pet and Pond, number 31 of Brad Carpenter. He's the next car that is on the hot seat here tonight, and that Bob's Pet and Pond car, remember, it was wrapped up in the first caution flag and the only caution flag to this point here tonight, along with Luke Baldwin, who is currently out in front. So Carpenter is the hot bird seat, and then it's going to be that number 7 NY there of Luke Baldwin as he slides car number 7 NY that time down into turn number 1, so you can definitely tell there's some handling issues. Maybe the tires are not quite up to snuff as he slides that time again out of turn number 3. Luke Baldwin is hanging on to that Ford Mustang, and he is screaming that he would love to see a caution flag right now.
Yeah, definitely caution flag. Cool those tires off. Forgot to get the notes from down there below, Roger, if they have an extra set in the pits that they are allowed to take here tonight. But if not, they would definitely like to cool their tires down. Track still hovering at 113 degrees right now as they work around this racetrack, and that is very high. You can see the cars really starting to step out as these tires continue to build heat. As your race leader works off turn number 3, he'll get to the back side of the number 1 of Harold Rothery. And now Jeremy Little back out onto the racetrack. Rothery going to go back down one more lap, as that will be a battle for position here once they get back onto the racetrack. So Rothery 1 lap advantage over Little. You might be asking yourself, why? What's the big deal about that? Well, every point counts. If you can get out there and get some laps, especially if there's a wreck a little bit here, these drivers, even though they're 30-plus laps down, anything is possible. Every position matters here in the Big Ten Super Series.
Yeah, it's something that we're going to have to keep a close eye on here, as Mark Keatman is still the race leader. Those brake rotors are definitely glowing here after 76 laps of hard racing here at Concord Speedway. There you see the race leader. He'll come by this time. That'll put another lap into the books here. Right now you see Carpenter. Carpenter is trying to get around as fast as he can. That number 7 NY of Baldwin. Baldwin and Carpenter right now battling for the final spot on the lead lap. You would always like to have one car between you and the race leader because, well, if the race leader catches you, he's going to catch that car that's behind you first. Right now, though, Carpenter has nobody behind him. Oh, as the 7NY of Baldwin going to climb the wall on the front straightaway. Carpenter going to slide underneath him, and now here comes the 7NY. He's going to try a crossover down in turn number 2. Not going to quite have the handle on the 7NY. Baldwin going to fall back to running in the 8th position now with car number 7NY, because Carpenter has now picked up position number 7.
That was a heavy right front damage on that number 7NY as he hounds the backside of Jeremy Carpenter. And that's could knock the toe out, knock some camber into that right front. Could either help him or hurt him here tonight at the Concord Speedway. Well, this afternoon is now Carpenter up the racetrack. Here comes the Baldwin to the inside. Door will be slammed off of turn number 2.
So right now it is still going to be Carpenter as holding on to that 7th position. Baldwin right there. Both drivers slip a little bit, that time off of turn number 3. It'll be the 7NY right back to the back end of that green machine, the Bob Pet and Bond entry, as they work this time out of turn number 2. A little sideways for Baldwin as he's trying to get everything he can get here tonight at the Concord Speedway. Sideways again out of 3. Now he's going to lose ground.
He'll lose a little bit of ground there as he'll lose 3-4 car lengths to the 31 of Carpenter. Carpenter, one of those wily old short track veterans, doesn't really push the car that hard, tries to save his equipment, but a half a track behind right now, or a little bit over a half track behind, is this battle for the 7th position. Scully runs there in that number 6 position. He started on the outside of the front row, and then it's fallen back here to the 6th position, but he is starting to close in. That's a great battle for the number 3 spot. Jared Jackson in RS Center, they've been trading the spot lap after lap, and now Jackson has it. RS Center trying to find a way back around the number 12, and while they were battling it out, here comes Kyle Danick in that number 15.
Yeah, Danick back there, and he is coming with car number 15, the fistful of whiskey entry. You see him right there, that Mustang. It is clean as can be. I think that's the only driver we have not seen up into the outside wall here tonight, as he's probably got a fistful of bourbon that he's trying to hold on to, and that's not something that's easy to do here at the Concord Speedway. We're going to complete lap number 88 next time by for these drivers. As a little sideways there for Kyle, hanging on to that. I believe that would be a Bronco, maybe just a Stallion, either way, on the back end of that number 15. He's got a pony underneath the hood of that, and this car is very quick. Last time by, he was actually quicker than the 3 drivers that are ahead of him.
Well, you know, Roger, maybe he's got a fistful of that bourbon there in his hand. Staying hydrated. It is hot out there. These drivers really working out there. They are sweating it out in the hot temperatures here this evening at the Concord Speedway, and they are starting to equal themselves out here. 7 seconds behind your race leader, Landry, keeping pace with Keatman, though, keeping him honest, about 3 car lengths off the back bumper.
Sideways that time for Jackson as he worked upon the slower lap traffic there. Modesty going to stay to the high side when car number 6. He'll keep that Supra out of the way, but it was Jackson a little bit of sideways hanging on to car number 12. RS Center still hanging there, and Odenik back there still with the battle. Scully has dropped a little bit off the pace, but he is still able to hold serve, just not quite able to pull back in those drivers that are out ahead of him, and it's still going to be Carpenter and Luke Baldwin. Baldwin being the last car on the lead lap, as there you see car number 52. He'll put Rothery a lap down. That'll put him 34 laps down. Remember, Jeremy Little is back out onto the speedway. Him and Harold Rothery are battling for that 10th position. Both drivers 34 laps down here as we complete lap number 94. The laps continue to click off here in the season opener for the Big Ten Super Series, presented by RS Button Boxes. And of course, man, the champion this season now is going to get a custom button box, I believe, with his number engraved in that button box by our friends over there at RS Button Boxes. So that would really help out when you come to these short tracks.
Definitely would, and those button boxes are the nicest in the business. We really thank the RS Button Boxes for everything that they do for the Big Ten Super Series, and that is going to be one of those coveted prizes here on the iRacing service. Yeah, I believe it is still not too late to get signed up here. You know, we'll work down here in the turn number 1 as RS Center has come down pit road. So the driver that was inside the top 5 down on pit road, working it down here on, see what happens with the 110. They'll see if they have to do a little bit of a pit stop. Looks like the car still running down there as they go around the right side is being put on the 110. So a little bit of strategy play right here. If this stays green, everybody else might have to come in. 2-tire stop for RS Center. He'll be 2 laps down in exchange, Roger.
Well, we'll have to wait and see what the rest of these drivers say, or what their crews have to say here tonight, if they can make it on fuel, or what was RS Center thinking as he has gone to pit road in the RS Center Trucking Bang Ryan Kuhn Motorsports entry. There you see him back into the 8th position here on lap 99. We'll see if those 2 tires are going to help him out here tonight. He's got to catch the number 7 of Luke Baldwin, or at least catch the race leader here before Keatman catches Baldwin to put himself, the only driver, 1 lap down, and hope that a caution flag might come out. And Al, here comes Luke Baldwin in the 7 and wide to pit road now.
Yeah, Baldwin going to make the hard left-hand turn off the racing surface with 25 laps to go. So Baldwin going to give up the 7th position on the racetrack as he'll make his way down pit road. And just as we say that, Brad Carpenter coming down pit road as well. Devin Landry coming down. So these drivers making some strategy call. Well, when will Mark Keatman come down pit road? Maybe not enough fuel to go the distance with these tires. Here's now Keatman's going to peel off the racetrack. Your race leader down pit road, Roger.
So as Keatman brings the famous 52 to pit road, the Kannapolis, North Carolina driver will say with 24 laps to go, I need to bring this car to pit road. And we talk about it all the time, especially here on iRacing. You see it all the time. And oh boy, 1 car out of shape down there in turn number 3. And I believe that was the number 5 of Scully. Scully having some connection issues, and I believe his car was all sorts of out of shape. Now it's back going underneath, and there you see him on the screen. He is out there running in the 2nd position, but that Ryan Coons Motorsports number 5 was definitely all sorts of out of shape sideways as the caution flag, the flagman reached for it, Al, but he put it right back down because the 5 got it going.
Got a great catch by the 5 of Scully. Is now Jared Jackson's going to come down pit road. Right now, Mark Keatman is showing in front of everybody else, so he'll retain the race lead once we get through this pit cycle. But your race leader is the 15 of Bodaniak. He has everybody but Scully down 1 lap to him with 20 laps remaining. The 52 of Keatman going to try to get by the 15 here. Is now the 15 going to come down pit road. That was close off of turn number 2.
And Al, if you look in the mirror right now, we did notice that the right sides did not go up on car 52 of Keatman. But look at that white car. That's the 26 of Landry. Landry put 2 tires on Keatman, just fuel and go. As remember, he came down 1 lap later than the 26 of Landry, so we wanted to try and re-jump him in position. Now with 19 laps to go, Scully still has to pit in car number 5, but you're watching what would be the battle for the race lead after this all cycles through. The 26 is there.
He is 3/10 faster the last 2 laps. He is all over the back of him, able to cut down to the inside. Bid for your race. What will be your race lead for second? Here in the turn number 1, the 26 of Landry will take the race lead. Once Scully will come down pit road. These drivers are quickly catching this now. Tom Scully down on pit road, so Landry will take over your race lead with 17 to go.
17 laps to go here. Mark Keatman just got passed up by Devin Landry, but it is not clear sailing out in front of your race leader. There is the 6, Modesty, the slower traffic going to the outside of the speedway. And then just out in front of him, it's 2 drivers that are trying to stay in the lead lap. Jackson side by side with Carpenter. 16 laps to go, and your race leaders are going to be in heavy traffic.
Heavy traffic with those right side tires showing to be what's best. Already a second gap over the number 52 of Keatman. Off of turn 4, it'll be 15 to go as they cross the stripe. Then a 26 of Landry. We were wondering if strategy would come into play, and it has, as now he stretches it out. Great call on top of the box for the 26 of Landry.
He'll put the 31 of Carpenter down a lap with 14 laps to go here tonight at the Concord Speedway in the season opener for the Big Ten Super Series presented by RS Button Boxes. And man, we knew this was going to put on a great show. And of course, right here at the end of this, that's contact between Jackson and Scully. Scully a little bit slower than the 12 of Jackson. They made contact right in front of the race leader.
Yeah, they did there. Scully still on the outside of the racetrack. Jackson going to try to get away, putting himself with 1 car between himself and the race leader off of turn number 3 there. 12 laps to go. As now Landry will put the 5 of Scully down. 1 lap, 5 cars remain on the lead lap. Those drivers are Mark Keatman, RS Center O'Danick, and Jared Jackson. And right off the back bumper, you can see Landry closing in on the backside of this number 12.
Now we know that Keatman did not take tires in car number 52, so he is out there with what he's got. His cards, his hand has been played. Now think about it, Al. No tires on the 52, but the 110 of RS Center, who is sitting about 3.5 seconds back, he did take right side tires on that 110. Do you think with 10 laps to go, RS Center has enough time to run down Keatman?
That last time by Center was 1/10 faster than the 52 of Keatman with 9 laps to go. He's going to need to take bigger chunks out of that gap if he wants to get there to challenge for a runner-up position. RS Center runs in that 3rd spot. Danik and runs 4th. And Jared Jackson rounding out your top 5. Right now, Roger, he is about even as the tires start to level off. Last time by, it was still Devin Landry 2/10 quicker than anybody on the track.
So right now he is in control with 8 laps to go. It'll be 7 laps to go when he comes back across the stripe. He'll come out of turn 3 this time. He'll see 7 laps to go here in the season opener. He would like to see this one go green all the way to the end. Out in front of him, you see the 55 of Jeremy Little back out onto the raceway. He did pass Rothery, so that'll put Jeremy Little up into the 10th position. That is a point. And like you said earlier on in this one out, a point could be all it takes at the end of the season. But right now, he would like to get that number 55 going as he'll look to go to the outside here. Here comes Landry. He'll see 5 to go when he gets to the line.
This time off of turn number 3, Bernie the Flame. 1 car going around, yellow. It's the number 12 of Jared Jackson and the 15 of Kyle O'Danick made contact that time off of turn number 3. It looked like maybe calling a little bit early there, but there was definitely those 2 drivers were battling hard, Roger, and that will result in the yellow flag coming out here with 5 laps to go.
So not what we wanted to see here with 5 laps to go, as this will actually take us all the way down, I believe. This is already going to put us right into overtime here tonight. So maybe a little extra racing is what is in store here for all you race fans that are tuning in here tonight. Well, let's go back and see what happened to Kyle in the Fistful of Bourbon entry. There you see the 12 of Jackson. There you see down into the corner. Does he get a little help? Jackson down on the apron, and O'Danick, yep, gets a little help in the Fistful of Bourbon number 15. There you see him. And then, I believe, up the track, nowhere to go for Keatman. Keatman runs right into car number 15, so unfortunate for Mark Keatman. So let's take a look here. Right on board, watch back here. Off the Karma Salon and Day Spa onboard camera with O'Danick, you're going to see car number 12 of Jackson go to the bottom, and there's that little contact. And around goes car 15. So that'll bring out the second caution flag here of the evening here at the Concord Speedway for the Big Ten Super Series, and I believe we are going to have to need some extra innings, if you will, to finish this one off. And, well, it's been a good race so far here tonight, Al, and now it's going to get even more exciting at the end of this one.
Yeah, Keaton had to come down pit road and try to fix the front end damage on that 52. I believe he might have taken tires there. So he'll restart back in that 5th position. Is there still 5 cars on the lead lap there, Roger? You thought that this one was interested. You thought, Landry might have had this one in the bag. Well, he probably did himself. No, that's all been erased. RS Center now going to have a chance to the outside of him. And how about that 52? He's going to restart. It looks like in that 3rd position at the moment.
Yeah, Carpenter did get the lucky dog, so car 31 will start at the tail end of the longest line. Jared Jackson was involved in the wreck, so he got the EOL penalty. So Keatman now, 4 fresh tires, it looks like, in car 52. At least 2 tires and some damage fixed, and we're going green flag racing with 2 laps to go. So this is interesting. Does Keatman have enough in car 52 to park it in victory lane here tonight? Dad would be proud to see that car out there on the speedway. Let's go to extra innings here. Put 2 laps on the board. Green flag is up as the popsicle sticks fly.
Popsicle sticks are up, 2 laps to go. RS Center going to do the crossover move. He'll get a little bit sideways that time off turn number 1. To the turn 2 and into turn number 3. Here they come. The 52 of Keatman to the inside. He'll take second. White Silk is up. Final trip around the speedway.
So with the white flag flying, Devin Landry saw it first, but here comes Keatman. Oh, Keatman sideways, was really trying to eat everything he had there. Sideways out of turn number 2. Into 3 for the final time. Devin Landry will look up. He'll see the checkered flag. Landry will win the return for the Big Ten Super Series. Right here to the Concord Speedway. Keatman made it exciting. He got back to second. RS Center was third. Brad Carpenter was fourth. And Luke Baldwin will round down the top 5 finishers here tonight. All the scoring on the left-hand side of your screen is unofficial here tonight, as we have to wait for every driver to go ahead and cross the scales, but we do know Devin Landry is currently doing the victory donuts out here tonight on the front straightaway. It was Mark Keatman and RS Center also finishing down on the podium. Coming up next here at the Concord Speedway will be our post-race show, and we will get to talk with Devin Landry, hopefully, and Mark Keatman and RS Center as we take a quick break here from the Concord Speedway. We'll be back here at Concord to talk to your top 3 podium finishers here tonight at Concord.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Welcome back here to the Concord Speedway here tonight for the Big Ten Super Series presented by RS Button Boxes, because it is one heck of a race it was here tonight for the return for the Big Ten Super Series virtually here to the Concord, and 125 laps have been completed as we get ready for our post-race show. Man, let's just head right down track side and talk to the driver of that number 26. Devin Landry, you win here tonight at Concord in the return for the Big Ten Super Series. How was the setup? How was the track? And how did you put the Ryan Coons Motorsports number 26 in victory lane?
Well, I mean, we got to the front and Mark was right on us, so I just moved up, let him go, and just rode for a while. And knowing that I didn't think we were really going to get a caution to change tires or anything, so I just rode. And then thank God Ryan was up on the booth, or up in the stand, and he told me to put tires on, put fuel in it, and was able to get the W.
You got the W. Do you think the difference here tonight in this race was those two tires that you did put on after the 100 mark?
100%. I mean, I had a feeling if we didn't put any tires on, we would have just been even. So we had to do something to try to beat Mark. He was really good tonight.
And you got back out on the track with those two tires, and then unfortunately that dreaded caution flag did fly. Were you worried there on that green-white checker attempt?
I mean, yeah, it was definitely in the back of my head. I saw him take tires, so I just knew I had to get out and go and try to get away for those 2 laps. But
yeah,
he was definitely coming with the momentum.
And you just beat him out to the finish line here tonight. Congratulations, Devin. Is there anybody back home other than the man that was up on the tower tonight calling the shots that helps you out here on iRacing.com?
I gotta thank Studio 10 Wraps for the amazing car. That's about it, honestly.
There you hear it. The driver out of New England will go to victory lane here tonight. Devin Landry will pick up the first ever return win here to the Concord Speedway for the Big Ten Super Series, and congratulations to him and that crew. They'll have 1 week for the bragging rights, and his name will go into the history book and will never be crossed out or written over. But Al, I believe you're standing by with the driver of car number 52 as he brought it home, P number 2, after a long one here tonight.
Yeah, we're down here on the front stretch with the 52, the driver out of Kannapolis, North Carolina. And Mark, this car was dialed in, was lightning fast, set fast time here tonight. Just came up 1 spot shy here, but gave it a valiant effort. Talk us through your night.
Yeah, car was really good, honestly. I think Austin Edwards was a setup builder, so props to him for building a really good setup. Once again, I'm screwing myself on pitch strategy. I was debating the last few laps before I came in. Do I take tires? Do I not? And I had nobody up in the eyes in the sky to tell me what to do. So I just kind of went with my gut to not take tires. I've seen Ryan Coon do it, last season and still end up winning. So I figured I should try it, but obviously bit me. Thought I had a really good shot there at that green-white checkered, but car was just a little too loose.
Well, your car, talking about being loose, but I'll tell you what's tight is that paint job on that number 52 here tonight. Understand that is a replica back to your father's car back when the real-life Big Ten Super Series would run here at the Concord Speedway. It was great to see out front, and then, man, you did them proud here tonight in this beautiful this paint job. Hopefully we'll see it maybe 1 spot higher next week, but, man, what a great job with this car and this paint scheme. It's got to mean something to you and your family.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, ever since I can remember, man, all I've wanted to do is just race my dad's car around here, and never got the chance to because, as you know, the Speedway's no longer with us. But I'm just thankful that I'm able to do it here in the virtual world.
Well, it definitely did a good job here tonight. Set fast time. Had to cover that 7th position, and you're going to end up 2nd here after a little bit. Well, a little bit of a rough patch there with that 15 got turned in that feature event and had some front end damage. But, man, you threw everything but the kitchen sink at the backside of Landry, covering the checkered flag. And, well, we'll do it in 1 week's time next Sunday night here for the Big Ten Super Series. But, who makes it all possible for you on this number 52 here tonight to come home 2nd?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Jonathan Gaston for making this beautiful paint scheme. It really means a lot to me to be able to race this. Also want to just thank my dad for basically getting me into racing. Probably the only thing I really know how to do. And just my family and my friends for their support.
Well, there you hear it, Roger, the driver that comes up second here tonight. A very fast number 52, Mark Keatman. He'll come back next week and give it a valiant effort to get that one spot higher. But I believe you are standing to our left down here on the front stretch with our third place finisher of the evening.
Yeah, the driver out of Georgia in the RS Center 110 entry. RS, another great run here with the Big Ten Super Series, but that bang car was up into the outside wall. You took a big lump, big hit on that right front. Tell us about this car after that big hit here tonight with long runs.
Yeah, right after we got into the walls when we came down pit road, tried to, short pit a little bit, see if we could gain something, but they all pitted right after that, so it threw that out the window.
Threw that out the window, but tell us about this. Was the team ready for that pit stop there right around between lap 90 and 101, a lot of these drivers? Did your crew have that worked out, ready to go?
Yeah, me and Devin, and Ryan had it figured out pretty good when to come down pit road, and then got into the wall, so came on down. But I think we was prepared for the green flag stop tonight.
Now, here tonight at Concord, you ran 125 laps. When we do come back next week, it's just 75 laps. How does the team prepare after a long run here this week? We're going to change it up next week for round number 2.
Oh, we just got to come and do a little testing, get ready for it, and see what kind of setup we're going to be on from Austin.
Well, a great run for you here tonight, and we look forward to seeing this Bang Chevrolet back here next Sunday night here for the Ryan Coons Motorsports Stables drivers. But before we let you go, who made this all possible here tonight at Concord?
Oh, we got to thank Ryan for the help. Even though it's fixed setups, thanks for the help. Good job to Devin up there winning. Then a shout out to Studio 10 Wraps for the car and Bang Energy.
There you hear it, short, sweet, and to the point from these drivers here tonight at the Concord Speedway. That is RS Center coming home in P number 3. Take a quick look here at your rundown of where all the other drivers finished here tonight in our feature event and see where your favorite driver may have finished. A couple drivers with some hard luck here tonight. Of course, that was drivers like Josh Cole, Mario Urcolani, of course, being multiple laps down, finishing back there 13th and 12th. Of course, Rothery back there in the 11th position. Little finishes in 10th. O'Danick finishes in the 9th position. Jared Jackson back there in 8th. Modesty coming back to finish in the 7th position. Scully holding on for a 6th. Baldwin rallying way back from the spin on lap number 1, turn number 1. He'll finish in P number 5. Carpenter has his best finish in the Big Ten Super Series history. He'll go 4th tonight here with the Bob's Pet and Pond number 31. You heard from RS Center, Mark Keatman, and of course, Devin Landry here, your winner here tonight for race number 1 for the Big Ten Super Series right here at the famous Concord Speedway. Al, closing thoughts as we leave here from round number 1 before we come back just 1 week to do it again.
I think the biggest takeaway I have is don't count the eggs before they hatch here tonight. We had given everything but Devin Landry an easy victory. That yellow flag really set it different here tonight. Excuse me. And then, this racetrack going to provide a lot of great action all season long. We know that there's a few drivers that, just couldn't make the tow here tonight that'll be here next week. And these Big Ten Super Series guys are going to put on one heck of a show as they all chase that custom RS button box here at the season ends. 1 week down, a few more to go, Roger, and I am looking forward to the next week's race where we'll be right back here at the Concord Speedway.
75 laps will be on the docket next week when the Big Ten Super Series rolls right back in here to the famous Concord Speedway. And, of course, we got to thank all the sponsors that make this happen here with the Big Ten Super Series. Of course, RS Button Boxes being our premier sponsor here with the Big Ten Super Series back for their second season. We thank them for their continued support. Of course, we got to thank Johnson Chassis, the chassis maker here, to get all these cars dialed in and ready to go. Karma Salon and Day Spa, where Al gets his hair and nails done every week before we come live here with the Big Ten Super Series. And, of course, we got to thank Austin Edwards out of the Edwards Setup Shop for providing these drivers with the setup underneath this car here tonight for the 125 lap A main event. We got to thank all the sponsors here, and we got to thank all the race fans that are watching, tuning in here tonight on the Turn 3 Racing Facebook page and our YouTube page for your continued support. But for everybody at the Big Ten Super Series and all of us here at the Turn 3 Racing Network, that is Al Smith. My name is Roger Muth, and we will catch you next time right here at the races.